All right, we are live. What's up, guys? Good morning, everybody. I've got a lot of action today. Today is April 27th. I believe it's Wednesday. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday. Anyhow, a lot of action today. And before I really dive into MLB, NHL today, I want to run down some of these soccer plays. A lot of great action today. We have three Serie A games today, which are actually makeup games because of COVID. Champions League game after that just absolute instant classic yesterday. We also have AFC Champions League going on. Had some games overnight. Have some games later in this afternoon. Um, Serbia already underway. Partizan, as always, bails me out in the first half. They go down 1-0, score 2 goals in the last 5 minutes to push my first half -1 and cash my first parlay leg of team total over 1.5. So good, good start there in Serbia. Actually, bad start. Good finish to the half by Partizan. So clutch, all reliable, old faithful. So, I want to get into this. I do want to say a couple things first. So number one is that I decided what I want to start doing. Probably the first week of May is when I'll do the first one. Um, I want to. This camera's being kind of fuzzy today. Okay. Anyways, there we go. Now it's fixed. I want to start doing a series on teams from like smaller leagues because if you see videos of some of these stadiums and whatnot, it's absolutely fascinating. And a lot of these teams have really rich histories because they made it to Europa League or they've done this, they've done that, whatever. So I kind of want to explore some of these teams that we're giving out picks for, maybe. So might start doing some of that. Maybe comment down if you guys have any teams you can think of. Doesn't matter. Sweden, Norway, Iceland, Italy. It really doesn't matter. And then also to that, a lot of people like specifically ask me how I cap Serie A games. I may make like a little series on that, like because I do cap Italy a little bit differently than I do anywhere else. Just a little bit, not really. So I may do that. Just let me know. And if you guys have any questions, comments, ideas, concerns, just let me know. Drop in the comments or send me a message on Twitter. So, anyways, let's get into it, guys. I'm gonna start with the early. Actually, I'm not gonna start with the earliest game. This one's at 9:30 my time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern today. This is in Estonia. 1.25 units on this. The reason this is 1.25 units is because I really couldn't decide if I wanted to make it 1.5 units or 1 unit. Because there's a little bit of juice on it. This is paid first half -1. Uh, so I grabbed this at -120. I'm seeing it at -130 now, maybe -135. I don't remember. I had it pulled up about 5 minutes ago. Um, I think if you're getting -135 juice, I'd probably play this at 1 unit. But I think this is a pretty safe play. I mean, paid at home today, a very dominant team. They actually did drop a game last week, I believe, but they clutched up for us when we took them like 2 weeks ago. They absolutely beat the crap out of the team, respectfully, of course. Anyhow, they're playing Vaspers today. Let me read you out Vaspers' last 5 games. They at halftime they were down 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 3-0, 1-0, 2-0, 3-1. They've given up a goal in every half except for one. They won one game on March 20th. They won 3-1. Good for them, I suppose. Anyhow, paid on the flip side of that, yeah, they won that game against Legion that we had 5-0. That was April 13th. So that was 3 games ago. They lost last week 2-1. Still scored in the first half. They've scored in 3 straight first halves. This doesn't really bother me. I expect them to go out there, kind of dominate this game. Feel safe. Maybe it doesn't get full cash. Maybe you just wait and live bet this. But I like it. And I have 2 plays in Italy today, Serie A. I feel like people probably are going to hate me for this, but we're doing this in both games, unfortunately. First one, this is the only one I'm playing for 1.5 units. The other one I'm going to play for 1 unit. I'm going to play it a little bit smaller. I don't love these games today, but I do think there's value and I do like them. This is definitely going to be against the grain. A lot of people aren't going to like this play. And honestly, I don't blame you if you don't like this play. I don't blame you one bit. because the over 2.5 for this game is actually graded out at 63%, which is pretty freaking high. For Serie A, it's not super high. The reason it's graded so high is in my opinion, and actually statistically, let me give you the numbers first. It's graded over 2.5 at 69% for Fiorentina at home. I mean, they had the best striker in Italy and for the first half of the season. Now they don't. Makes a huge difference in my opinion. On the flip side of that, Udinese only hitting the over 2.5, 56% of games. That is why the average is at 63%. But on the flip side of that, the over 3.5 is only hitting in 1/3 of their games. So I don't think it goes over 3, right? So I feel like this is a half loss at worst. But the main reason I actually do like this play, however, is the head-to-head history that these guys have. I feel like whenever they play, I just seem to always play the under, and it just seems to always win. The last 3 meetings all ended 1-0. Fiorentina won 2 of those. Udinese won 1. 4 of the last 5, actually 5 of the last 6, 7 of the last 8, 8 of the last 9, 9 of the last 10. 9 of the last 10 have gone under 2.5. Honestly, if you just want to toss a unit on this, take the alt line, play the under 2.5 at plus money. I don't think you can go wrong. Maybe that's how I should have played it here. But I just don't think it goes over 3. So I'm okay losing 0.75 if it does hit exactly 3. If we do get a good game, good. I hope we have a good game today. Serie A kind of needs it. And this is definitely not one that I really even am excited to watch. One thing I don't like about this play is that Udinese totals have been pretty solid lately. And I actually have been taking Udinese totals. We took their over in that 4-1 win against Empoli. I believe I don't even know what I had last week, but their game last week against Bologna ended 2-2. I might have actually lost a play on that game. I don't think I took anything. Maybe I took corners. I don't think I took anything. Anyways, taking so many plays I can't even remember. For Fiorentina, they lost 2-1 to Salernitana last week. That is so embarrassing. But at home, different beast. They've won the last 3 games 1-0 at home against Bologna, Empoli, Venezia. They drew Verona 1-1, which is kind of impressive. That one went under 2.5. They also lost to Juve 1-0. That is why I like the under here as well. Fiorentina at home, under machines. That's 5-0 their last 5, 6-0 their last 6. We would have taken a half loss 7 games ago when Lazio beat them 3-0. But other than that, I mean, Udinese doesn't have great numbers on this. The under 2.5, it's 1-4 in their last 5. It's 1-4 in their last 5 on the road. But it's actually 4-7 in their last 7 on the road. So a little bit better there if you go back a little bit farther. Udinese should come back down to earth at some point. They're not a team that's going to keep scoring 5 goals a game. Anyhow, on to the next Serie A game here, which is Inter versus Bologna. I'm also taking the under 3. This one has way better numbers for, which is actually, I guess, maybe I should have played this one for 1.5 units and flip the other one down maybe. But I think this is way more likely to push. I think that the Udinese Fiorentina play has a much higher chance of probability of actually winning, and this one has a higher chance of pushing probably than anything. But I don't think it has a very high chance of losing, and I'll give you the numbers on that. The over 2.5 grades out at 46%. Head-to-head, the over 2.5 grades out at 68%. So we are doing a total 180 from the last game. Like, it's literally the exact opposite. The under grades out really low, but head-to-head it grades out really high. But I just don't see Bologna scoring on Inter today. I just don't. Inter actually looked really good against Roma last week. They looked really good against Milan the week before. Bologna out here, I mean, they're doing big things. They're drawing Juve. They're beating Sampdoria. They drew Milan, and they drew Udinese. That's also, I don't really want to play Inter in any parlays today, even though Inter should kind of wax the floor with them. But basically, my takeaways here is that against Milan, against Juventus, against Sampdoria, and even against Atalanta 5 games ago, Bologna has played good defense. The only time that they allowed over 1.5 goals during that stretch was actually last game when they drew Udinese 2-2 at Udinese. Today they're playing at home. So theoretically, let's say this trend continues, right? That means Inter do not score 2 goals in this game. Bologna also got shut out twice during that 5-game stretch, right? Okay, so Inter 5-0 in their last 5. They beat Juventus 1-0. They beat Verona 2-0, Milan 3-0, Roma 3-1, Spezia 3-1. I don't think it's very likely Inter are going to concede in this game. They definitely could. But their last 5 on the road, 0-0, 1-0, 1-1, 1-0, 3-1. I just don't think this game really has a huge chance to go over 3.5 today. I just really don't think so. Full time, both these teams are scoring over 1.5 goals, right at 50%. Over 2.5 for Bologna is at 12%, so that's probably not going to happen. Milan right at 30%, but goals conceded. Both of these teams over 1.5 goals conceded is graded out lower than 50%, which is beautiful to see when you take it under. Inter Milan over 1.5 goals conceded, only at 13%, right? So we can pretty solidly say here, I don't think Bologna are going to score 1.5 goals in this game. The lines agree with us, but Bologna conceding over 1.5 goals in only 41% of games, which really isn't that high. That is only at home. They are at home today. So I don't know. It is kind of interesting. I kind of like Bologna on the spread today as well. I can't even deny it. I kind of like Bologna plus 1.5. I'm taking the under 3 because I think it's a little bit safer. But I mean, dang, I'm looking at Inter's team total right now. Under 1.5 plus 200, under 2.5 minus 145. I mean, look, I'm taking the safe play here because, there's a good chance they could win this game 3-0 for sure, maybe 4-0. But there's some big value if Bologna can come out and play the way they've been playing the last 5 games. They could definitely lose this game 1-0 or even 2-0. And I mean, that Inter team total under 2.5 is a great price. But I mean, it's going to be kind of tricky here because, what if Inter's up 1-0 at halftime or they score in the first 10 minutes and then they're up 2-0 at halftime, you're toast. So I think the under 3 here is much safer. But there's some interesting looks today. That's kind of my thoughts on that game. I will go over the Atalanta game real quick. Let me pull it up real quick. I don't even know what the lines for this game are. It did not really interest me whatsoever. So over 2.5 graded out 41%. Both teams to score graded out 54%. I know Justin Footy is on the under today. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. And it's funny because I texted him last night. I'm like, man, I see you're on the under 3 in this game. It's funny because I took the under in the other 2 games, but not this one. I definitely don't like Atalanta -1, but it should win. It should win. And I said this same thing last week when Atalanta beat Venezia. I said, Atalanta -1, it looks so easy that I just can't take it. And that's how I felt last week. This week, I feel even more so that way just because Torino has actually been playing okay. They beat Spezia, not impressive. But draw against Milan, draw against Lazio, win against Salernitana, 1 loss against Genoa, a draw against Inter, a draw against Bologna. So that's pretty good. They've only had 1 loss in the last 7 games. Atalanta coming out of some bad form right now, even though they did win their last game. They're still kind of in bad form. They had 3 losses prior to that, which is why I didn't want to bet them -1 last week. I don't really have a lot of interest in this game. I will almost guarantee you that Torino will not score 2 goals in this game. They just never do that on the road. Yeah, their team total over 1.5 plus 285. Completely fair price. That's really the only thing I think about this game. So it comes down to whether or not Atalanta scores twice. If Atalanta score twice and concede like they do in most games, both teams scoring over 2.5 is going to cash. Your under 3 is going to push. And wow, the odds on that actually plus 115. I don't disagree. I just don't really like anything in this game. I'm not going to touch it. We'll keep moving here. Champions League, 3 p.m. Eastern, Villarreal at Liverpool. One thing I took last game for Villarreal, when Bayern was the home team, as Liverpool is today, and Bayern and Liverpool kind of some similarities, very corner heavy teams, especially at home. I took Bayern minus 4.5 corners, and people told me I was crazy for taking that. It absolutely smacked. They won the corner battle 6-0. I kind of like it again today. But I don't know. I feel like Liverpool team total over 6.5 corners, even though it's minus 140 compared to corner spread at minus 4.5 at plus 105. I think that over 6.5 is safer, but I think we will get a chance to get that at 5.5. I think if it's at 5.5 at any point live, I think you smash Liverpool team total corners. Because I think 5.5, I think it's like literally like 19-1 in its last 20 games. But I think at 6.5, I think that 7 at 7 is a very tricky number. And so I don't want to play pregame, but what I am going to play pregame, God, everybody's going to hate this too. I'm sorry, everybody's going to hate my plays today. 1 unit, I'm taking a value shot. This is a straight value shot because I don't really know what's going to happen in this game, but I think that there's a very good chance that not a lot happens. 1 unit, both teams to score no, and under 2.5 plus 170. I think there's great value on this because I think there's a pretty damn good chance this game doesn't have 3 goals in it. I like both teams to score no in this game, even though I do see a lot of really sharp guys and a lot of my friends taking both teams to score. That's why I don't want to play it straight up. Both teams to score no. It was like minus 135 last night. I thought that was too juiced to play straight up. I really did. And that's why a lot of people are playing both teams to score yes straight up. So the exact opposite of what they're playing is this, in my opinion, because I don't think that either team wins 3-0. We saw Villarreal play great defense against Bayern. I think they should be able to hold Villarreal to under 3 goals. They should be able to hold Liverpool to under 3 goals today, under 2.5 goals. I don't think they score. I think Liverpool definitely can shut out Villarreal today. I think Liverpool can control pace a little bit better than Bayern did. And I think they can definitely prevent counterattacks much better than Bayern did. The only issue that I see is that I do think Liverpool could open this game up early. And what I don't want is an open game like we saw yesterday. And there's definitely a chance for that. That's why I'm only playing this for 1 unit. It's just a value shot. I like all the plays I mentioned earlier a little bit better than this, but I do like it. And I think it's a good look. So anyways, that's what I'm playing. I also told you about my corners. That's how I see the corners going today. That's what I like. Anyhow, last play today, AFC Champions League. Excuse me. 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Al Rayyan at Al Hilal. And actually, I want to say they actually play at neutral ground. And Partisan officially wins 4-1. Let's go. Anyways, all right, forgive me. AFC Champions League, 4:15 p.m. Al Rayyan at Al Hilal. AFC Champions League, we've had some great success. I love these teams from Qatar, Al Rayyan being one of them. You guys have seen we've absolutely just smoked the Qatar Cup. I think we're like 5-6-0 in that. We got a little bit lucky last game, but it's still won. So what I'm taking in this game, I locked in last night, minus 110. I'm seeing it minus 120 right now. And I'm having some second thoughts about how I should have played this. So let's discuss. I'm taking the over 3. I got it minus 110 last night. It's minus 120 right now. I would downgrade this to 1 unit at minus 120 probably, or just hear me out. Okay. Over 2.5 for this grades out at 75%. Both teams to score grades out at 60%. What scares me for this game is that I think Al Hilal probably score 3 goals in this game. I like their team total over 2.5. It's plus 105. I think it wins. They actually won at Al Rayyan 3-0 when they played. Al Rayyan definitely more than capable of getting a goal. But what I like about this is Al Hilal actually is in first place. They actually have this locked up. This is the last game of the group stage. Al Rayyan in second place, 3 points back. But the goal differential is so much that I don't think it matters. I mean, they would literally have to beat them by like 6 goals or something. So I don't think Al Rayyan can jump Hilal. So here's one thing that I'm going to note. every team that was in first place that has played in this final round so far had at least 5 goals in their game, except for El Shabab, who won 2-0, which is ironically one of the only games I bet on. And we had their team total over 1.5, so we still made out. I'm gonna play this over 3 because I think it's good, but I think that you got some really interesting angles on this game. I think I'm gonna live bet El Hilal first half money line. Right now it's minus 0.75 even money. I think it's a push. I think statistically and just based off of their form, they should win this first half exactly 1-0. El Hilal, honestly, best team in all of AFC in my opinion. It's not really even close. I think they could score 4 or 5 goals on anybody, but I like the first half money line. I'm going to be looking to play it live, and I'm simply just taking the over 3. Other than that, I don't really know how else to play this besides team total, but I don't want to double dip. Oh, anyways, let me run through these plays one more time, guys, and keep this short and sweet. Estonia 1230, 1.25 units paid. Well, first half -1, minus 120. If you haven't minus 130, play for 1 unit. Italy 1.5 units. Udinese Fiorentina under 2.75 minus 115. Italy 215. All these times I'm saying are Eastern, by the way. Inter Bologna under 3 plus 100. 1 unit on that. Champions League Villarreal at Liverpool 1 unit. Both teams to score no under 2.5 plus 170. I'll put a lean out. I'm gonna play Liverpool team total over 5.5 corners if I get the opportunity. I lean their corner spread minus 4.5 plus 105 as well. But I'm not playing that yet. I'm really just gonna look for a live spot on that. AFC Champions League 4:15 p.m. Eastern. Al Rayyan at El Hilal 1.5 units over 3 minus 110, and that's it. That's it. And guys, make sure you listen to the first part of this video. Go back and comment any recommendations you'd have. I'd love to hear it. We're probably going to knock out Partisan first for the first team of the week. So anyways, that's it. Thanks, guys. Let me get this posted and talk later.